Hello everybody. I'm going to do a short unboxing and mini review of the World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth Collectors Edition. Just going to cover a few things about it before I actually get to playing. Most of you probably already know what's in it if you follow the forums and follow the Blizzard websites and whatnot, but I'm going to do it anyway, see if anybody's interested. So without further ado, here we go. Okay, so to start with, here is the front of the box. Pretty much standard fare for a World of Warcraft Collectors Edition. Formula hasn't changed for Blizzard. Pretty much looks the same. It's got a dark grayish blue color scheme. So with that, let's take a look at the contents on the inside. So to start with, Blizzard has changed the formula for this collector's edition a bit. I'll talk about that in my main review, but for right now, I'm just going to go over the contents. So what they've started off with is this book. What they had been doing in all of the 7 previous collector's editions, starting from Vanilla all the way up through Legion, is they've included an art book. In this collector's edition, they've changed up the formula and they've included what they're terming as an elegy, I guess is what they're calling it. It's a story from both the Alliance, and if you flip it over, the Horde point of view. I'm not really sure what it's about, but I will most likely be thumbing through it and reading through it and seeing what it's about. I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Personally, I like the art books, but again, I'll talk about that in a little bit. And secondly, this is where things get interesting. This is where all the different keys reside. My game key is in here. There's a few other keys in here, I'm assuming, for my collector's edition goodies. I guess the key for the soundtrack is in here. My key for my other digital goodies, my mounts, pets, other Blizzard goodie thingamajiggers. So no, I'm not going to open it up and show you that stuff because I don't want anybody stealing my keys or anything. But they put it in this kind of cool looking envelope. Different. But, so that's what they went up and did. So there's that. They've also included, this is pretty much standard for all their collector's editions. They've included this play free thing. I don't know what it is. It's all their free games. Pretty much all their games except for Diablo 3 are now free. Yeah, that's a mouthful. World of Warcraft, StarCraft 2, Heroes of the Storm, and Hearthstone. You just load up the Battle.net app and you play for free. Here's a 20% discount for, I'm going to cover that up. 20% discount for anything in the gear store for Blizzard. I'll probably use that. Maybe. Most likely. And here's the biggest change. They've included this coin. It's rather heavy. It's about a pound. It's actually two-sided. It's metal. You got your Alliance symbol on one side and your Horde symbol on the other. It's actually metal. It's kind of cool. I don't know. And it's very different from anything Blizzard has ever done with their collector's editions before. I have a place I'm going to put it. I'll show you where I put it after I show off the rest of what's in here, which honestly isn't much. I guess this box here is, this is the stand for said coin, or emblem, whatever the heck you want to call it. So that's it. That's it for the Collector's Edition. There isn't, like I said, there isn't too much in here. The Blizzard has really slimmed down quite a bit for this Collector's Edition. They got a lot of flack, so I'm going to talk about that here in just a minute. So as I was just saying about the World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth Collector's Edition, when Blizzard announced this thing back in April, and they showed off what the contents were going to be, they got a lot of flack for this. When they first started doing Collector's Editions way back 14 years ago, I've been playing since launch. I own every Collector's Edition. They've always followed the same. They've always followed the same formula. It's worked for 14 years. I could see where they would want to maybe change things up a little bit, but this is such a huge departure from what they normally do. I'm a little disappointed. It's cool, but there are some things missing that I'm kind of accustomed to getting, even though, I may not, because I'm a collector, so, there are some things that, I may not use regularly. The one thing that they've always included, I mentioned the book that's included in this. Normally, they've always included an art book. I love art books. I have many different art books from many different game franchises. I love collecting them. I love to look at them when I get an opportunity. So I'm not sure what this thing is going to hold. It's cool. It's a cool departure. I just hope that they don't go and release an art book for this game, because that'll kind of piss me off, because this should have been included in this package. It's always been included. Another thing that they've always included is a mouse pad. Now granted, I'm a collector, so I've never used the mouse pads. I've always left them together with the Collector's Editions, but I do like having them. So they left that out. I can only assume that they replaced the coin, metal, whatever you want to call that thing, for the mouse pad. For what it's worth, that coin, I think they probably could have included the mouse pad along with the coin. And those mouse pads, they're not the greatest. I mean, they're kind of cheaply made. I mean, it's more for the artwork than anything. They're probably worth $5, and it probably costs them 25 cents, if that, to make, and they could have included it along with the coin. It wouldn't have killed them. The other thing that's missing, that they actually omitted this time around, I don't remember if it included it in the Legion Collector's Edition. They've always included a DVD/Blu-ray making of disc with all the cinematics and interviews with the developers and things like that. That's not in here. I've always enjoyed watching those, watching the early concepts, interviews with the developers, watching the cinematics and high def, Blu-ray, whatnot. So that's not in here. So they took that out. The other thing that's missing is a physical copy of the soundtrack. Now, normally, I don't buy physical copies of music, but in this case, I like to have it in these collector's editions. just because of the price of this thing. I like to have it this way. I can copy it down to a format that I want and save it, and save it to iTunes and put it on my phone and whatnot. My understanding is when I redeem the key, they give it to you in MP3 format, along, I'm guessing, in WAV format, which is an uncompressed format, so that I can copy it into whatever format I want. But still, a physical copy would have been nice. So that's gone. So with all that stuff missing, they still had the gall to raise the price of these things $10 from the last Collector's Edition, which is Legion. Legion Collector's Edition was $89.99. This one was $99.99. Thanks to Amazon, my copy was right on the same price as Legion, but that's not the point. Some people actually ended up paying full price for it. So, a lot of people were quite ticked off getting less for more. So anyway, Blizzard did get a lot of flack for this. I'm hoping that they take that flack to heart and they put back some of the stuff that they took out, because they've always been a Class A company, Class A developer. They never really skimped on anything. But they really kind of skimped on this one. Am I disappointed? A little. But it's kind of cool to see them kind of try a different formula, but there are some things that should be in there that aren't, especially for the money. Oh, there is actually one other thing that's missing. They didn't include a physical copy of the game disc. Now, normally, again, I don't care about that sort of thing. Some people do, just for, collector thing. I don't use the disc myself. I'm just going to redeem the key to upgrade my account and be done with it, but some people like to have it. Me, personally, I don't care. So, but some people made a big deal of that. That part I don't care about. But the things I highlighted the most: the mouse pad, the physical copy of the soundtrack, the video, the making of DVD Blu-ray, those things missing definitely don't justify the price increase. So Blizzard, yeah, you definitely skimped out on this one. Please don't turn into one of those scummy companies that make crappy collector's editions. You've always made awesome collector's editions, and I hope you really learn from this one. So that's all I've got. I'm gonna go enjoy the game now. See ya.